I've been struggling for months on the idea of whether or not I should create my own iceberg video. I've always had a blast watching other people's different icebergs on YouTube, and while watching them I think to myself, damn, I really want to make one of these. The main reason why it was such a hard choice to figure out whether or not I should do an iceberg is because, what do I do it on? I seriously felt like everything had been covered in an iceberg form. For example, we've got the Minecraft iceberg, Roblox iceberg, Pokemon iceberg, Diary of a Wimpy Kid iceberg, and the list goes on and on. After brainstorming on what to do and what I may be able to look at, it hit me. Plants vs Zombies was definitely a huge part of my childhood, and I figured this would be awesome to look through in an iceberg form. I came across 3 PvZ icebergs that I really liked, and after not being able to figure out which one to do, I kinda just blended them together and made it into this new one thing. Before we start, if some of you are unsure on what an iceberg actually is, it's pretty much this. The higher up spots and entries are the chill, less obscure common knowledge, just the tip of the iceberg. The further it goes down, the more obscure, weirder, and I guess more unknown it gets. So, let's get started. Bloom and Doom Seed Co. A fictional company in Plants vs Zombies which manufactures and creates the plant/seed packets, as seen at the top of every packet. At the very end of the Zombies on Your Lawn music video, it says that the music video was produced by Bloom and Doom Records. Because of this, players think that Bloom and Doom Co. may be part of a larger company. Mushrooms are not plants. This entry on the iceberg just points to the fact that mushrooms in real life aren't actually classified as, plants. They are a fungi, which are actually more closer to animals than plants. Great Wall Edition. Plants vs Zombies Great Wall Edition is a Chinese version of the original PvZ game, with minor changes which include reskinned zombies and plants, as well as slightly different gameplay. This game, for unknown reasons, was removed from the App Store in most countries, including China. Giga Football Zombie. This is a harder and tougher version of the regular red football zombie. This zombie only appears in the online version of Plants vs Zombies. Plants vs Zombies 3. The long-awaited third game, Plants vs Zombies 3, got released onto Android devices July 16th, 2019 for pre-alpha testing. This pre-alpha had stopped and ended February 10th, 2020, with the game days later being soft launched in a few select countries. October 14th, 2020, the soft launch would be confirmed to be unavailable on November 18th, 2020 to apparently make bigger changes. It is currently now unavailable to play. The game, while it was out, didn't get very positive feedback, and a lot of people, including myself, were just really displeased with how the game looked, played, and how it just felt in general. It seemed like a rip-off or copied bootleg version of PvZ. Slenderman in Garden Warfare 1. In the map, Zomboss Estate, there is a small Easter egg where Slenderman is able to be seen in the woods. I remember playing this game a very long time ago and thinking how strange and obscure it was seeing Slenderman in a Plants vs Zombies game. In the Tactical Taco Party DLC, an update had been added where Slenderman gets eaten by a chomper, which is pretty neat. Early PvZ1 concepts. There is a wide range of unused, earlier concepts which can be found online from when the game begun production in 2007. There is a lot of early different concept art, earlier graphics, and early names to look through. To save time, I won't be going through all of it, and instead we'll be going through just a few which I find really cool and interesting. So here is a list of a few concept titles and names. Here are a few concept plants, a few different concept zombies. Here is a concept of the Buckethead zombie in a sort of red painter style. What surprises me about this is for the longest time, just until now, I have found out what I thought was blood on the zombie's bucket was actually just red paint. and some screenshots of early prototypes and betas. Limbo page. The Limbo page is a hidden amount of data in the PC version of Plants vs Zombies that has 20 playable minigames. These were meant to be added to the game, however were cancelled and eventually not used. This page is accessible through third-party memory editing programs such as Cheat Engine and changing specific data values. Rejected PVZ1 artists. I could not find a whole lot of information on this one at first until I found what I'm pretty sure I was looking for. A picture from the Plants vs Zombies fandom which shows different sketches and earlier concepts of different zombies, pea shooters and sunflowers from I guess a variety of artists. The designs on the bottom right would eventually be the ones used in the final version. Unused zombotany track. This was a track that was meant to be used for the final fight against Zomboss. However, this track was eventually cut and cancelled for apparently the intense parts of the track being not long enough to sustain the entire Dr. Zomboss battle. Here's a little snippet of the track. The PVZ manga. Yeah, I guess a Plants vs Zombies 2 manga exists, which, I don't know, I find pretty cool. Looking online, I wasn't able to find out what company was behind this or how old it was, but there sure enough was many different screenshots of the manga comic, with some of them being pretty funny, and also listings to purchase this manga. Early Garden Warfare pea shooter design. This is an early concept for the Garden Warfare pea shooter, and it's just straight up cursed. I'm really glad the artist went in a different direction when creating the pea shooter and didn't further develop into this monstrosity. Deadplants.exe. This is a popular Plants vs Zombies creepypasta which follows the story of a pirated version of PVZ. I'm obviously not going to be reading this whole creepypasta in this video, but I will for sure post a link to the story in the description if any of you want to read or maybe watch it. 2 seed slot challenge. A challenge in which a player has to beat the whole game of Plants vs Zombies using only just 2 seed slots. This challenge is entirely possible, as proven by YouTuber Shy Guy Mask. However, it is very and incredibly difficult to do. Bad Guy is PVZ theme. There are definitely noticeable similarities between Bad Guy's synth melody and the PVZ theme tune. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Billy points out and says that it's literally Plants vs Zombies.
You know what it literally is? It's not at all the same melodies, but it's literally Plants vs Zombies.
And Wizards of Waverly.
I'm not sure if what she means by this is that it's literally sampled or if it's just so similar that it's just literally the same, you know, I don't know. Rare death animation when eating walnut. In a few different versions of PVZ, an incredibly rare death animation can occur after an allergic zombie bites into a walnut. I believe there is like a 0.01% chance of this death animation occurring, so if you get this in game, just know that you're very lucky. Crazy Dave is based off employee. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I had no idea that Crazy Dave is actually based off a real PopCap employee named David Roll. All the things from PVZ that Crazy Dave has, like the scruffy facial features and messy car, are all referenced to the employee David. A special thanks to David can also be found in the credit scene. Ice level. The ice level is a strange level which can be found in the Limbo page. The reason why this level is so strange compared to the other minigames is because this level is considered useless. No one knows how it works or how to play it. There is no restart button, it cannot be saved at all, and it only contains 6 seed slots, with the plants in these slots being pea shooter, cherry bomb, walnut, repeater, chomper, and snow pea. The reason why this level is actually here is because the creators of the game wanted to add a level which was covered in snow, and would have had the Yeti zombie appear. This snow level they had in mind for some reason wasn't able to work out, leaving this game at an unfinished state. It is supposedly said that the developers had forgotten to take away the data for the level itself and only removed the level settings. Crazy Dave is actually a zombie. There is a theory which suggests that Crazy Dave is actually a zombie. Many fans of PvZ have pointed out that he doesn't speak any type of language, he wears a pot on his head, just like how zombies wear cones and buckets, and in the first Plants vs Zombies game, he also gets captured by a bungee zombie and you can see his pot fall down. Did he get his brain eaten? I myself don't really believe this is true and I don't really think he is a zombie at all, but it's definitely cool to think about. The player is Crazy Dave's imaginary friend. A theory that you, the player, the one that plants the plants and does everything, is actually all just Crazy Dave. We don't ever see you, the player, anywhere in the game. When Dave talks on screen, it's theorized that he is just simply talking to himself. Also, in the trailer for PvZ 2, Dave is credited for saving the world and you, the player, are not mentioned anywhere. Almost as if Dave was the only one there. Imps were originally going to be children. There are beta and prototype designs of zombie children. Were these scrapped and then changed into imps? It does, in my opinion, seem a bit violent slaughtering zombie children, which is probably why these zombie children weren't ever used. Tree of Wisdom is the Utopia. The Tree of Wisdom itself is the Utopia, with it seemingly growing infinitely. It's guessed and thought of that the whole goal is to grow the tree to a point where it's able to function as a new home and a world for humanity, safe from any zombies.